somersault jump. Hey, that's why I always say shum shum, slippity-dop, grass. Tastes bad. No jumping in the sewer. Burger time, rubber baby. Lick, lick, lick my balls. Yeah, say it all the time. And I can get behind it.
What's going on? No, I'm not a hologram. That's the green screen. Well, you can believe what you like, though. I'm currently see-through. Welcome again. My name's Al Wooten, and you're on News, Politics, Conspiracy Theory Chat. We got some shit lined up for you tonight. I am the skeptical Canuck. Feel free to call in. I'll go ahead and open up the phone lines there in just a minute once I found the clip. But yeah, we'll be dealing with a few things that were in the news this week that caught my eye, including, let's see, Canadian officials flagged 900 food items from China with problems, aka glass and plastic. Processed meat recalls rise dramatically as consumers bite into foreign objects. Canada has not conceded anything, says some person from Hong Kong that's representing Canada. Blah, blah, blah. We'll get to that in a minute. The strange story of the lottery and how the fictional tale relates to what we're going through right now with all this contact tracing and fucking asymptomatic horse garbage, horse shite. CBC News, the National. Oh, that's not supposed to be up. Let's close that one. What else are we going to be looking at, hearing about tonight? Sorry, I'm just trying to hover over it. Canada calls for Canada to block China from sensitive research. It's about a 2-minute video. Sweet home or man are not wearing a face mask. I believe this is somewhere in the States. Masks not allowed. Oh, that's a different one. Masks not allowed. You heard me right. Texas bar owner bans customers from wearing face masks in his bar. Good for him. Reading that, sorry. Belarus president COVID-19 as psychosis. Now says, and the rest of it's cut off. But we're going to be examining some of the stuff that's going on there and probably the reasons why for it really quickly. Next, from the National Post, Trudeau promises ambitious throne speech, but says he doesn't want to something or other. It cuts off. Throne speech? Are you fucking kidding me? Jesus. Throne? Really? I used to make that as a joke that he was just the king and not a elected official. All right. Maskless armed protesters stormed the state capitol in Idaho. We're going to critique that. And then next, what do I have here to for my own personal things? Scapegoating nature as the reason for pandemic is the prequel to other dangerous ideas aside Agenda 2020-2030, re Depop. They're trying to depopulate the earth and fill it with their own children, as it were. Asteroids, viruses, wildfires, earthquakes, floods can be created with HAARP, that's Harbor Alaskan something research project. Space rocks can be missiles and nukes, viruses, bioweapons. And we're going to just look into several just quick Google searches I found about it that are kind of concerning. Next, why can't people believe their own government would round up Americans and Canadians for concentration camps? And that's in relation more to the positive and all that shit and contract tracing. If you've been in contact with somebody that has the Lierus, then they have their right to arrest you and all this and all that. All right, so because if it drags up, the longer it drags on, the more they can say, oh, we need to stop this at all costs. We got to put people in jail for this, Anyway, and then finally we'll end off with or maybe I'll just do it halfway through. We'll end off with my my rant. I'm the daily rant. I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. That's what I'm going to call it, the live edition, because I'm just going to rant off the top of my head. Dear oncologists, cancer charities, fuck you. Shills costing the lives of up to 45,000 Canadians a year, especially the kids. CHIO, that's Children's Eastern Hospital Research of Ontario or some bullshit. What are they researching on children? Anyways, let's see. Oh, and the very last thing, 20 years since 9/11. So what? No one's willing to address the state of North America and what it has become since part 2 of 3 and the plan to destroy the free world. Part 1 being the assassination of JFK, and part 3 is the Lierus pandemic. This ends with the genocide of our people, a la Holocaust style. And, people just don't want to believe that shit's possible. But we'll get to more to that in minutes. Also, I wanted to bring up the stuff that's been happening in Australia and how the people there have been really just shoved under the Chinese boot. But we'll get to that in a minute. So without further ado, yeah, we'll get on with it, and we'll get on with the first story. But before we do, go ahead. You know what? Process meats. I guess we'll read an article first. No, you know what? I'll just go ahead and put out the number there. So yes, if you want to call in, please do go ahead. The phone lines are now open. That's right. You too could be a part of the show. Give us a call. You can hang on the line, or talk to me about some shit that's on the top of your mind. But you can call in and just I've talked with a few of you guys, Jack Jersowitz. You guys can call in and just hang on the phone line while we talk about the shit if you want, because you are the guest here on News, Politics, Conspiracy Theory Chat. And the number is 613-917-6869. Again, that's 613-917-6869. Call in, and you too can be a part of this show. Prank callers, welcome. Speaking of prank calls, real quick before we get into it, you guys got to check out Tradio with Howard Stern prank calls. Holy fuck. They mess with them Tradio people. They all sound the same. They all sound like this. They're announcers, and they're selling things on the radio. Your things, anything you want. It's fucking hilarious. Ugh. I listened to about 3 hours of it while I was doing some chores on Saturday. So anyway, without further ado, let's get the fuck into it. All right, we're 9 minutes in. And let me remind you before we get started, please do smash the like button. All right, so now we're going to get to the first story here that we have. And this is about glass being found in meat. That's right. You heard me correctly. Pieces of glass. All right. So I'll go ahead and share my screen with y'all so you can see what I'm looking at. And let's split it down the middle, Jim. Split her down the middle, Jim. Split her down the middle. Okay. Sorry. I don't know why the fuck it's not working. Here we go. Boom. You piece of crap. 1 second here, folks. There we go. All right. All right, so let's get on with this. First, we'll read the first part of it, and then the second part of it that I found. That joints done. All right, so blah 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 blah. So basically, I'm going to read a little bit of this. If it gets too boring, I'll stop. But Canadian officials flag 900 food items from China with problems over 2 years. Items include gumballs with extraneous metal, chow mein that contain an insect. This is from Canadian Press, posted 14th of July 2019, so about this time last year, give or take a few months. Updated July 14th 2019. So yeah, not too. It hasn't been edited since then. Supposedly, Canadian inspectors intercepted nearly 500 food products from China over concerns about faulty labels, unmentioned allergens, and harmful contaminants that include glass and metal between 2017 and early 2019, according to international federal records. Shuttershock is the image of the lovely gumballs we see there. There's no extraneous metals in there, though, so I don't know why it's up there. Canadian inspectors intercepted nearly. Okay, I already read that. Faulty labels, unmentioned allergens, and harmful contaminants that included glass and metal between 2017 2019, according to internal records. Why did they put this right there? It's the same thing. I'm sorry, folks. The document provides an inside look at imports from China that caught the attention of officials for appearing to fall short of Canadian standards. Oh my God, that should be in these things. From gumballs with extraneous, that should be in quotations up here, uh, metal to 3-minute chow mein that contain an insect. Oh my God, I wonder what kind of bug it was. To spicy octopus flagged for a non-specific hazard. Okay then. Ink, I bet, some kind of an ink. The list, compiled by the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, was obtained through access to information law. Oh my God. Its releases come at a time of significant public interest in Canada about cross-border food inspections, especially those involving China. When is it not? When is it not important? Jesus Christ! The scrutiny of agricultural goods has been central to a diplomatic dispute between Canada and its second biggest trading partner. Jesus Christ, China. Yeah. Bilateral frictions have intensified since the December arrest of Huawei executive Meng Wanzhou in Vancouver and China's subsequent detention of 2 Canadians on espionage allegations. The governing Liberals have come under pressure from the rival Conservatives to respond by taking a hard line when it comes to Chinese imports. I mean, anyways, I'll get to my opinion after this. In recent weeks, China asked Canada to suspend all meat export certificates. You remember this? To the Asian country after Chinese customs inspectors detected residue from a restrictive feed additive. Oh my. Called racipotane, whatever, in a batch of Canadian pork products. A statement by China's embassy in Ottawa said that the investigation uncovered at least 188 forged veterinary health certificates and argued the Canadian system had obvious safety loops. All right, so if that's not, listen, what are the numbers? 900 from their country and 188 forged supposedly veterinary health certificates. Now, that's what here it said a statement by China's embassy in Ottawa. It doesn't say that that's actually confirmed. I want to make that very clear. And I'm going to make this a separate video because that's very weird how they state that. Listen, a statement by China's embassy in Ottawa said that the investigation uncovered at least 188 forged veterinary health certificates and argued the Canadian system had obvious loopholes. But it doesn't say that that was actually confirmed by anybody in our fucking country where people are paying attention and where, you can actually at least say the government sucks so they're getting your head cut off or your organs cut out, rather. Let's be fair about it. They don't cut off people's heads as far as I know. They just take all your organs while you're still alive. That's it. It's not as bad as I said, okay? I misspoke. Chinese authorities have also blocked imports of Canadian canola seeds. They've got us by the canola seeds, folks. Look it up. Those farmers, oh my God, can't get rid of the canola seed sale to these fucking communists. All right, alleging they found pests in some shipments. The federal government says it has tried unsuccessfully to send a delegation of inspectors to China to examine the evidence. See, especially since there's a pandemic going on right now. The economic consequences of China's trade actions on Canadian food shipments, as well as the detentions of Mikkel Krovik and Mikkel Spaver. What were they doing in China? That's all I got to say. Are widely seen as attempts by Beijing to pressure the Liberal government to release Meng. You can keep him. I don't know why they were in China. The list for Canadian Food Inspection Agency shows it's not uncommon for inspectors to raise concerns about imports from China between January 1st, 2017 and February 29th, 2019. Agency officials detected problems with 889 food or food ingredient imports from Canada into Canada from China, according to the document. Only 4 food shipments, however, from China were refused entry into Canada over that period. CFIA's quarterly report showed. How much longer is this? All right, it's almost done. We're almost done here. An agency spokesperson said CFIA investigators concerns to determine if it's a hazard or fails to comply with Canadian standards. When necessary, she said officials take action, including minor label corrections, recalls, product seizure, entry refusals, and the cancellation of the licenses. And this is our so-called agricultural minister here. So-called, all right. Agricultural Minister Mary Claude Bébou, I wonder if she's related to Justin Bieber in any way. Bébou said, that was horrible. An email statement that the issues in the I gotta take a drink here. Fucking pasties from smoking that fat one. All right, excuse me. CFIA lists do not necessarily correlate to a particular problem with imported food products from 4 countries. This is a list of cases reported to the CFIA that informs operational follow-up activities to verify compliance and any appropriate actions in accordance with laws and regulations, Bibou said. Okay. The Canadian food system is strong and recognized as one of the best in the world, and government is confident in all products approved by the blah, 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 as a local statement, as well as for export. This list only provides numbers for China and does not include comparable numbers for Canada's other trading partners. And then, oh my God, why the hell is this guy still around? A conservative leader, Andrew Scheer, who already has supposedly stepped down a long time ago, recently called on Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, this was last year, my mistake, to step up inspections on all products in China and considered slapping tariffs on imports. See, how the fuck is that a response to finding shit in Chinese imports? Why don't we just stop doing business with them? All right, they're godless. They treat their people like trash. And what, we're going to slap a few cents tariffs on the Chinese noodles with a big old fucking dead mosquito in there? I'm sick of this little piece of crap, Andrew Scheer. He's not a leader. He's not a conservative. He's just a flip-floppy fucking puppet. He looks just like fucking Trudeau. If Trudeau was fathered by someone other than Fidel Castro. That's all I got to say. All right. Let's slam this off. Bibou's office has said Canada has no intention of increasing inspections on Chinese imports. Oh my fucking goodness. Excuse my language. Bibou's office has said Canada has no intention of increasing inspections on Chinese imports. Good job. I'm not going to attempt to read this, but you can go ahead. Slovenia's Kowaku Asabagabor, an expert on agri-food trade, he sounds like an expert, and policy, wrote in an email that Canada would likely take a long time before implementing actions against Chinese imports. Canada will always play to the rules and exhaust all democratic channels available through international trade agreements such as the World Trade Organization, wrote that dude, an assistant professor at the University of Guelph. No, won't. Not for much longer. That's all I gotta say about that. All right, so the rest of this is just jibble jabble. Let's see. This is a list that wouldn't be surprising from any country, including the United States, and is really just a byproduct of having stringent food inspections and regulatory system, Jameson said. So no food commodity is traded at 100% perfect compliance all the time. So that's what they're saying. They're trying to defend trade with China, obviously, because they wet their beaks, these people. So what do I got to say about this real quick? We're finding glass and pieces of metal, dead bugs. They didn't say glass in this one, but here's one from the Washington Post. And it's a well-known fact before it's a well-known fact before, sorry about that. It's a well-known fact before we begin that most of the meat processing plants in America are owned by the Chinese government or linked companies, subsidiaries. All right, bits of metal, hard plastic. This is from Kimberly Kidney, December 23rd, 2019. So this is all around the last year. Bits of metal, hard plastic, rubber, and even glass increasingly getting mixed and baked into processed meats. Researching consumers triggered a number of safety recalls. A Washington Post analysis of federal records shows. So far this year, the Agricultural Department has announced 34 recalls involving 17 million pounds of meat products after stray materials were found in them. That's a sharp increase. Sharp, what a pun. From a decade ago in 2009, when there were 5 such recalls involving about 1 million pounds of processed meat. Metal parts are breaking off, machines that mix, chop, and puree ingredients, plant workers, rubber gloves are falling into the meat mixtures. Why doesn't that get called out? And bits of plastic and glass from meat packaging and ingredient containers are getting ground into the food. So I don't know. I got to stop right there. When have you ever seen bits of glass on meat packaging? I don't know why there'd be glass in any sort of meat packaging. I've never seen that. And, it's like I've never seen a steak behind a case on the wall break in case of emergency. I don't know what the fuck these jokers are talking about here at the Washington Post, but we got to remember the source. I believe this is Jeff Bezos' own newspaper, so you can't really trust that fucking wackadoo motherfucker. Can't even all the money in the world, can't grow himself fucking hair. Can't grow himself hair. All right. Maybe he doesn't want hair. He wants his head to slide easily in and out of anyways. All right. So Bill Gates is asked. All right. So the makers of some of the most beloved and recognizable ready-made food staples have issued recalls, which have included Tyson Foods, chicken tenders, Jimmy Dean's sausages, and Spam. Good old Spam in a can. A little bit of a little bit of metal in there, some ground glass, whatever. The stray items, which the USDA calls foreign objects, are typically found after a consumer bites into a meat product. Records show sometimes chipping teeth in the process, and the objects can cause choking and can injure the intestinal tract. Oh my, doesn't that sound good? Here's a picture of some delicious looking yakitori chicken Japanese style fried rice, and I'm sure this has nothing to do with China at all. I'm sure of it. It's a Mississippi company. Oh no, yeah, it's a Mississippi company. So that's what they're saying. But as Chinese government can own companies in our country and call it a Mississippi company. All right. This clearly does not belong such as a screw or shrapnel or packaging material, said Robert Rausch, a New York food safety lawyer. It's a shock. It's disgust. The concern always is whether there were other pieces that you swallowed. It's like an old joke. Is it worse than finding a worm? What's worse than finding a worm in your apple? Finding half a worm. And this is exactly. I'll stop here to get the point. But this is exactly why I brought this up. I was eating a burger and I kept tasting gritty pieces, and like I've had grit in food before where it tastes like it's not taste like anything, but it feels like sand between your teeth, and you pull it out, there's nothing there. But this time I've got it in a bag here. I don't think you can probably see it because it's so small. Anyway, it's around here somewhere. But this time I actually pulled something out. And now listen, it was probably bone, 50-50. I don't really know. I don't have a chemical lab here. It was probably bone, but I gotta say, oh hey, what's up, guys? You still here? No, he took off. Bill Gates is watching you. Eerie Solstice XL said that at 11:31. Sorry about that, friend. I was trying to read some shit here, and I can't see what's going on the other screens. Yeah, no. I actually was eating a burger and I pulled a piece. It looked like a little S, but it was more like twisty. Anyways, it was probably a bone fragment, but to me, after hearing about this, I didn't hear about this glass in the food on the news. Where I actually heard about it is from a friend on a Facebook post, and a friend that I actually know. It wasn't somebody that I've never met. And they were eating peanut butter and they cut their tongue, and they just had made their kid a sandwich. Thankfully, their kid didn't eat it yet. Their baby boy, they didn't eat it yet. But yeah, they had to call the ambulance. And despite, what happens if they ate the whole thing? So, my question to you there is, how the fuck does glass get anywhere near food at any time? There shouldn't be any glass involved in that. Sure. But plastic, I mean, yeah, it can shred up your stomach, but it's not as bad as glass or metal. Like, what the fuck? I'm outside your house. All right, come on in, brother. I got all kinds of things for you to play with. Come on in. Is this that prank caller dude? Solstice XL. I thought you were chill, bro. Yeah, how's it going, Solstice? We're just reading some articles, you know. I just smoked a joint. I've got the mad pasty. Having troubles reading. I'm sounding like I got vaccinated here, sounding half autistic. Canada has not conceded anything. Let's watch a video. Let's watch a video to get me all pissed off here. Smack like if you're enjoying this stream here. We work hard here at this channel, and all right. I'm just trying to make sure there's no fucking commercials here. All right, here we go.
Today, the United States announced their intention to drop these tariffs on imports of Canadian aluminum, retroactive to September the 1st, 2020.
All right, whatever, bitch. Probably because I'm sharing the screen. That sucks balls. Sorry about that.
20. Canada welcomes this decision. It is a testament to the Team Canada approach as we all worked relentlessly to ensure.
I don't know what she's talking about, anyways. Fuck it. I don't know why it's not. Oh, let's see. Can we do it? No, it's not really gonna matter. Fuck it. She was actually born in Hong Kong, this area. Okay, and yeah, the other person, and she made a lot of decisions involving switching companies' manufacturing capacity, of course, to making ventilators to treat COVID patients. When in reality, if you pop essentially, so that person, not born in our country of Canada, is in charge of international trade. She's the international trade minister. Okay, our chief health officer, who's basically been the mouthpiece for this whole pandemic that's going on, again, born in Hong Kong. So why am I making a big deal about this? Not to mention, like, I got no problem with immigrants. I love them, but I don't think that our national defense minister should be born in the Middle East or even in America, for that matter. That's a pretty important position. But you know what I mean? To think that it could be a person that was from someplace right next to China. The Chinese government is fucking ruthless. They brutalize their own people and dissect them live for fucking organs. It's called organ harvesting. And if you think that they only do that to like the minorities and shit, you're dreaming, by the way. They do it to anybody who gets caught doing anything. All right. Let's see. All right, we got some comments from Solstice XL before I continue on. I had a piece of rubber in my water bottle before. He says at 11:40. That's fucked. It's not surprising though. They'll feed you anything, man. People say it's safe to drink from a water bottle, safer to drink from a water bottle than the tap. I think the best way you can do it is distill it in your own house. You know, like take it, boil it up into a thing that catches it, come down, filter it out. But yeah, man, they'll feed you anything. They don't give a fuck. Oh yeah, it's pure filtered bottled water. Anyways, let's see. It was a black piece of crap. Don't know exactly what it was, and the bottle was never opened. That's shocking, Solstice. Then Solstice says, search up Joe Biden Despacio. He pandered so hard to the Latinos, it was so cringe. All right, I'll do that. And Solstice says, organ harvesting should be a holiday. So you want me to look that up? I'll look that up, sure. Just 1 second here. I'll look it up. I don't want anyone to see my all my porn suggestions to pop up while I'm typing that in. That's something that should remain private, I think. All right. So what was it? I'm just gonna actually try to call. Yo, Solstice, give us a shout too if you want, man. The numbers in the chats before there. If you want it, I'll get it for you. Joe Biden Despacio. We'll go ahead and search that up. Joe Biden Despacio. Here we go. Oh, and then we're gonna look up the remix after that. God damn it. Autocorrect it. Goddamn Google. You can take over the world. You can watch me jack my beanstalk, but you can't fucking autocorrect after the fact. All right, so I'm not sure which one I should check out, but I think I'll go for this top one. Dances to mega hit Despacio. Let's see, that's only 1 minute. Joe Biden plays Despacio during speech after introduced by Ricky Martin. Ricky Martin. Oh, God, that was worth a laugh. Let's see. I want to see this shit. The Daily Blast Live. Let's see. Maybe this one's good. It's 3 minutes. No, it's going to be a bunch of talking heads. Let's see. Joe Biden plays and dances to mega hit Despacio. This fucking idiot. All right. Now I'll pull it up on screen here in a second. I'll screen share it with y'all. But yeah, thanks for the suggestion, Solstice XL. I'll just call you Solstice or Soul. Call you Soul Brother number 1. Soul Brother. Let's see. We've got some fucking commercials rolling. So yeah, man. I'm sure I've said this to y'all before, but what we've got going on in Canada is nothing short of an all-out play by the Chinese, you know. And I think what they're going to do is they're going to try and going to annex us, and then they're going to take us over, basically, or they're going to attempt to. I'm not saying there won't be a back, but yeah, and I think it's really important that we stop being out of Canada be part of federal politics. It's just fucking ridiculous. I mean, if they want to be mayors, fine. You know, that's great. I'm sure that there's a lot of people who've immigrated to Canada who've been great mayors. I think I might sound like an idiot here. I'm pretty sure one of the mayors of Toronto or something like that was from outside of Canada for a while, and he's pretty good. But I'm probably getting that completely wrong. It might be Vancouver. I think one that was pretty good. You know, they're mayors. Let them be mayors. Let them be involved in the cities they live in. But the fact that Jagmeet Singh could be the prime minister of Canada when he wasn't even fucking born in this country is ridiculous. There's 1,000 other people, probably ski people with a thing on their head, who are much better candidates for fucking prime minister. But we've got this fucking guy who wasn't even born here running. And his plan is just retarded anyway. It's just like about better phone plans and shit. It's fucking ridiculous. So it makes me sick. And again, it's nothing to do with racism or anything. It's to do with, if you're not born in this country, then this is not your home and you don't have everything to lose. Or it might be your home, but it's not your birth home. And betraying a country that's not your birth home does not mean as much as betraying your birth home. It's a simple fucking fact. It really. Anyways. Oh, Jack Jersowitz is here. He's joined the party. At 11:47, he says, oh, sorry. First, I'll read the other ones. What the fuck? All right, yeah. Yeah, Prick Rob was responsible for the Tiananmen Square incident. That motherfucker. We're sending a van to Pricks tonight. Prick Rob helped produce the movie Cuties. Oh, no. You know what we're going to do to him? We'll put an Amazon package on his front lawn with like one of those old school, loop things, and we'll just pull it and get him around the ankle. That son of a bitch. All right. The Foodie Federation is being funded. What is the Foodie Federation? I'm not sure what that is, but maybe I'll look it up. Jack Dershowitz says, don't worry, man. Trump will welcome what's left of your country into the union long before the Chinese buy the country. See, what I'm worried about right now is I'm just worried about the Chinese marching in and putting us in concentration camps labeled Corona field hospitals and gassing us or giving us a lethal injection labeled a, what do you call those things? A vaccination. There's footage of Bill Gates in interviews saying, "Oh, and with this pandemic we're dealing with, we're going to have the vaccines in a couple of months, and that will be the final solution." And it's like, final solution? That's like saying, you people. It's like, what the fuck did you just say? Anyways, it's a little bit scary when you see this guy who's his father was involved with sterilizing parts of the black community in America and all throughout the world. And you know, it's pretty scary to see them talking like that, man. So what I've come up with this. Last time I made a joke and all this. What really people like fucking Fauci, like all these fucking liars that are perpetuating this shit, and you know, to some extent, probably Trudeau in a way, if possible. It needs to be citizens' arrests. It needs to be a group of 100 people, voters, coming, showing who they are, and saying we're making a citizen's arrest. And it'd be real helpful if they got a couple of cops to come along too. And that's why we need to have like more of a sheriff thing where police officers got to be elected. You know what I mean? Or if they fuck up, you know, they could lose their license to police. Right now, there's no license to police. If we made it so that you have to be licensed, they could yank it away. And I don't know. I just think get rid of the policemen's union. Do you support organ harvesting? Do it yourself. Listen, market enterprise. I don't have a problem with it. Once it's the communist government doing it, that's where you're stepping over the line, man. And especially as punishment. You know, if you're going to argue or if you're going to organ harvest for pure profit, you know, random people, small time enterprises, good, you know. But if you're going to start being a government where you punish people for speaking against you, calling fucking Winnie the Pooh, and fucking smoke a dope by chopping out their organs. I mean, what does a penis transplant sell for these days on the Chinese black market? 25,000 at least. No, wait, yeah, you know, never mind. It's gonna be about 5,000 because they are Chinese people. You get my picture. Anyways, if that wasn't worth a laugh, I don't know what I'm doing around here. Name there. We need to. Here we go. Solstice XL says at 11:50 p.m. Fauci said he wanted to organ harvest all the people that died from the Wuhan flu. Did he actually? I'll Google that shit in a minute. That would be fucked. All right, so Jack says at 11:51, we need to defund the corporations. Yeah, seriously, and Prick Rob. Well, I tell you, what we need to do with Prick Rob is, it's too bad I'm not near there because I'd like to really torment him with pranks and shit. But we're gonna start calling him maybe like once every month and just fuck with him. I've got some new ideas. You missed it earlier. I've been watching a lot of Howard Stern and getting ideas for prank calls. After this, check out Tradio on Howard Stern. Fucking hilarious. I watched 3 hours of the shit. Well, listen to 3 hours of the shit while I was doing some chores on Saturday. Holy fuck, the time flies by. These are hilarious. And yeah. Defund abortion clinics. Yes, no. Well, personally, I live in Canada, so I don't agree with charging for any medical services. But yeah, defund the fuck out of them because they're fucked up places. But I don't think they should encourage abortion. I think they should encourage people to, you know, maybe keep it or whatever. But I think the line you're supposed to give is they're not supposed to encourage anybody either way. I don't know, man. You can't outlaw abortion because then it becomes under the table and dangerous. I don't fucking support it. I think it's, but you know, at the same time, those people protesting abortion are so retarded. They're standing on the street here in Canada, like 3 years ago, maybe 4 years, with signs that say abortion is murder, all this and all that. And like, listen, I agree with them, but I go right up to them. I say, do you even know what's going on in our country right now? Like, I hate to harp on the Chinese thing all the time, but holy fuck, man, we've got China marching in here, taking over our country. We gave away all of our imports for nothing, oil, fucking diamonds, everything else for fucking nothing. And listen, I know you guys said we'd be accepted in the union. That's great. That's grand and everything. But personally, we are where you guys were like maybe 150 years ago. We need to have our fucking revolution. We need to resign from the crown. We'll even arrest the British fucking prince when he's here. We'll send him the fuck home. We'll send him home. We don't want your fucking pedophile family in our country. Ban the royals, and if the queen comes to Canada again, she'll be arrested for crimes against children. There was a trial that found her guilty of fucking kidnapping 10 Native American children from the fucking those fucking homes they had, the residential schools, in broad daylight, never were seen again, probably used for child sacrifice. And this fucking old cunt is sitting there fucking rotting up in Buckingham Palace. Not anymore, though. I think she ran to this country. That's what I'm saying. She will be arrested. Her kids, we don't know they're guilty. We'll deport them. They can be deported. They can go wherever the fuck they want. But not the fucking queen. we'll scoop her up, and her husband too. He's getting scooped up. Whenever I'm elected prime minister or supreme dictator of this country here in Canada, that will be my pledge to you guys. Anyways, call Prick Rob. Call Prick Rob right now. You know, I'll give him a shout. You think he's up though? If you think he's up, then I'll give him a shout. We're at 40 minutes. Please smash the like button if you are enjoying the broadcast. And yeah, I'm gonna read a couple more articles. I want to get that out of the way. But yeah, I will give him a call, and I'll get through these fast. I'm not gonna read the whole fucking thing. But yeah, before we get down to this, let's try to play this fucking video. I'm not sure if it'll play. I'm hoping it will. I'm going to remove myself. Maybe that'll make it work. So I'll see you guys in a second.
Cooperation between the People's Liberation Army and universities.
MPs may have been shocked to hear it, but Canadian universities have been working with Chinese military scientists for years. In 2018, they authored 84 research papers with them.
They're looking at data in artificial intelligence, biotechnology, advanced materials, quantum computing, all areas that can help their military.
On a 2018 global list of such collaborations, 3 Canadian universities made the top 10, including the University of Waterloo at number 4.
I have been in discussion with our Canadian security agencies routinely to try to identify whether I should have any cause for concern about the sorts of collaborations we have.
But Charmaine Dean says it's still not clear what's expected of her university.
We can't make assessments on issues of national security.
I believe it's up to every citizen of Canada to be defending national security. This is on all of us. And particularly when your university has been identified top in the world partnering with Chinese military institutions.
On that point, CSIS agrees.
Everyone has a role to play when it comes to protecting our national security.
But it also says it has been giving guidance.
CSIS provides regular unclassified briefings to many stakeholders, including universities, so that they are fully aware of the threat environment around them.
One former director of CSIS told CBC News that rather than vetting individuals, Canada should just close off access to whole areas of study that have sensitive military applications to all researchers from unfriendly, undemocratic countries. Evan Dyer, CBC News, Ottawa.
Here, fucking here, dudes. Honestly, yeah, finally some semi-fucking serious reporting coming from a Canadian outlet. I think that was even CBC, if I'm not fucking horribly mistaken. And yeah, man, it's like we're giving them away our fucking biotech secrets. Canada has been doing 2015. JT, the fucking right and dishonorable fucking prime minister, was criticized for giving them some satellite deal where they got all the fucking access to not only our information, but also the US's information. Again, if we are to believe that all the governments, like the Chinese government, the American government, the Canadian government, obviously, are all in co-op and they're just selling us down the river and all this politics is theater, is what I'm not dedicated to believing anything, but I kind of suspect that, then it's just another reason for the U.S. to come over and take us over. The fucking clown, who's probably the sperm of Castro himself, is fucking manifested into a man walking around and giving away our fucking country. And it might seem like to the Chinese, but the Chinese is probably the pretext for the Americans. I got no problem with you guys. No problem at all. But we're going to be something different here. And if it's going to be the cuck of the fucking North here, we're going to be the true North, strong and free. And all you guys can come over and immigrate over here. As much dope as you want, you can grow. You'll have a job either making fucking power technology or fucking growing fucking weed for the government. It'll be great. We're going to be the superpower of the world. Fucking, we're all going to rise, man. They're going to be like, oh, this guy's a dictator. This guy's evil and shit. But I'm going to be like, no, man. You can do whatever the fuck you want here. We're free over here. Anyway, sorry. I'm just getting a little passionate. Yeah, we'll give Prick Rob a shout there in a minute there. So let's see. Jack says at 11:54. I used to like them because they were figureheads, but the modern ones are total Satanists. So what was that in relation to? Let me see. I'm not sure what you mean to that, Jack. If you want to be more specific, but I think a lot of the people in government are actually satanic, like legitimately, and not because that's a legitimate thing or whatever. Even I don't even really think it's a legitimate power source. These rituals. What I think it is, to blackmail them beyond comparison, so that no one, if you get them fucking a kid in the arse, it's not going to matter because they're on tape being fucking in a satanic ritual, so it doesn't matter. I think it's supreme blackmail, but I do believe it actually is going on. Solstice XL, then that relates to the queen. What's going on with the queen? Agrees. He says yes. Gives me the guy's number to call to prank call him. I will prank call him. I'm going to say that for a few minutes from now. I want to prank call him too at a different time off air, get him on the recording, and then publish it as like a 3 or 5 minute video. I'm going to start doing that. So if you have anybody else too that you want me to prank call that's not going to try and fucking call the FBI on me, then send them over. It doesn't really matter what they try to do. I'll use bum numbers. There's a guy named Outlaws Generation, and he admitted to having a boner over the movie Cuties and how he is attracted to all the younglings. Oh my God. Is this guy on YouTube, yo? I'll make a video about him being like, what the fuck, dude? Jack Jersowitz, Prick Rob should be banned from YouTube for saying that too. I'm not for censoring speech, but anybody endorsing that shit should be banned the fuck from YouTube. Like, what the fuck? Jack Jersowitz, Prick Rob should be barred entering the Canadian Imperium. What the fuck is the Canadian Imperium? Is he in Canada? Yeah, he won't be allowed in Canada, that's for sure. He'll have to pass a Canadian values test, and that includes a lot of questions you can't really answer correctly, so that if we don't like you, you can't come in. Yes, Our Laws Generation is on YouTube. He is disgusting. I'm gonna start looking into that guy here. Let me copy that to my I'm gonna make a note of that here in my notes. You can probably see it on screen here. I've got a bunch of interesting shit. All right, so Our Laws Generation. Is it Our Laws or yeah, it's Outlaws. Outlaws. RE owner from All right. Thanks for that, by the way. I like looking into that stuff. And yeah, I'm not sure if you've seen this stuff at the beginning of the show, but this is the stuff we're going to look into real quick. This is the one that I'm going to go over pretty soon. Scapegoating nature is the reason for the pandemic and the prequel to other disasters. And then I'm doing a rant here at the end. That's going to be about how fucking cancer charities are a fucking scam. All right, so yeah, Outlaws Generation is the name. I mean, we must punish this Our Laws Generation. Well, what I'm saying is we'll just put him on blast, man. We'll just make a video exposing him, and I'm going to make it like fucking YouTuber endorses fucking pedo shit or something like that. But it's going to be a provocative title with his picture on it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta look him up first, though. I got to do it like, on my own time to make sure I'm not slandering anyone. But yeah, if that shit's true, then I'll check it out. Oh, what that guy's talking about organ harvest? He's probably harvesting organs. Okay, so apparently this guy works with a guy named Robbie P2 Vlogs. Oh my. All right, so I'm going to get back to reading some shit. We're going to prank call that motherfucker in a few minutes. And yeah, what I'll read next is, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to read this. This should make you guys happy if you're of the same mind as me. Sorry, no masks allowed. Some businesses pledge to keep out customers who cover their faces. All right, so let's this is from Tio Armas from the Washington Post, one of the most reputable sources of propaganda. May 21st, 2020 at 7:11 a.m. Oh yeah, baby. He's probably sitting there with his hand on the fucking button. I can't wait. It's 7:10. When it gets to 11, I'm going to publish. I'm going to publish this at 7-11. People are going to be like, 7-11. For 64 days, Kevin Smith. Oh, Kevin Smith. I like Kevin Smith. Had shut down the Liberty. Is this Kevin Smith? No fucking way. Is this the actual Kevin Smith? I don't think so. The Kevin Smith who wrote Jay and Silent Bob? All right. Kevin Smith had shut down the Liberty Tree Tavern to comply with government orders. Now he was cleaning and disinfecting and removing stools to cut seating by 3/4 as he prepared to reopen the bar. Plexiglass screens had gone up at the supermarket checkout. His neighborhoods in Elgin, Texas were still wearing masks outside, even after it was no longer mandated by the county. Cowards. Such a response seemed unnecessary, he said, and wanted to push back. Sorry, no mask allowed. Oh, I see what's going on. It's not mandated, so he can do whatever the fuck he wants. Hell yeah. Read the poster taped to the front door of his bar Friday. Please bear with us through this ridiculous fearful times. As statewide Lierus orders are easing, many stores and restaurants nationwide have taken the opposite route. They have made face coverings a requirement, kicking out those who fail to comply and even going to court to enforce their directives. I want to make a point. This is a fake fucking picture right here. You can see it on screen. I remember when they were doing this before, they were showing pictures from a few years ago and saying it was a recent picture. Now, this might not be the same thing, but I'll tell you, that's probably what they're doing, showing footage from a fucking year ago, 2 years ago, and saying it was happening like yesterday. But anyways, let's read the rest of this real quick. I'm not sure how long it is. I'm not reading the whole thing. I'm just reading these to make a point that I'm not fucking lying. Yet the oh no, this one's pretty good though. Yet the emergent culture war over masks. A handful of businesses, the Liberty Tree Tavern among them, are fashioning themselves as fortresses of the resistance. Fortresses for the resistance. Wow, they're actually calling us the resistance. Good. Wow. At least they're fucking calling it. If you're only allowed to be at 25% capacity, I want them to be the 25% of people who aren't pussies, that aren't sheep, Smith told the Washington Post. Being scared all the time isn't good for your health. It suppresses your immune system. Yep. One Kentucky gas station, no one is allowed inside the adjacent convenience store if they're wearing a mask, probably because they keep getting robbed. Near Los Angeles, a flooring store encourages hugs and handshakes while prohibiting face coverings. I don't know about that. I don't know if we should encourage people to hug each other. I mean, I don't like fucking touching people, but it's nothing to do with Corona. It's more to do with like, you know, hug this person. Then they're gonna try and hug people, and they'll be like, "Yo, bro, I don't want to fucking hug." It's gonna start some fights. The sign says hug. We need to hug. Come here. While prohibiting face coverings, the owner of a campground in rural Wisconsin vowed to treat clients supporting them inside her facilities as she would a robbery in progress. Yeah, man. Well, once this fucking bullshit ends, what, are we just going to let people walk around with masks because they're scared? You can't walk into somebody's business wearing a balaclava. It's bullshit. Like, what the fuck? Anyways, most scientific and medical experts say people should cover their faces in public to stop the spread of the Lierus, which has killed 100,000 people in the United States. Supposedly, they should add that because it's not fucking even close. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention maintains that that's barely anything still. 100,000 is not very much. That's actually less than the flu kills. So, and I'm not just saying that the flu kills about 145, I think. So it actually fell short. All right, that's fucked. The United States Center for Disease Control and Prevention maintains that masks serve an especially important safeguard in crowded spaces where so possible. But Smith said he did not believe the virus possesses a serious threat and wanted to stir the pot. He wanted to stir the pot, folks. He didn't want to express his opinion that he believes to be the truth in this time of fucking universal fucking bullshit and everybody barking along the same. He wanted to fucking stir the pot. And that's what we're doing here on Stir Up. Maple Stir Up. That's the reason for this channel's name. For years, he has run his 60-seat bar, which occupies converted alleyway on Elgin's main drag, just as he pleases. Smoking is permitted during karaoke nights. Oh, that sounds sick. And performances by local talent and smoke a big doob. Oh, it's Texas. You can't. And the beers are served in black and white cozies that say, cozies is spelled with a C. Cozies that say, come and drink it, playing off the Texan battle flag. A 2-month shutdown of Texas officials had forced him to cancel benefit concerts for veterans and close down the buzzy rush of customers who fly in from nearby Austin for Southwest for 3 weeks. A Bastrop County rule required him to wear a face mask in public or face up to 180 days in jail. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? See, like, and this is the thing, man. Finding people is disgusting as it is. But in a free country, you cannot tell people to fucking wear a piece of clothing or go to jail. That is against the fucking Constitution, motherfuckers. That's why we need one here in Canada. Why are we having to do this, he asks? We're not here to live in fear. Masks become a flashpoint as protests. That's another. Never mind. A town of about 10,000 people, Elgin has reported 53 corona infections and 1 or 2 deaths in the county. Oh, 1 or 2 people died in your county, like from the flu, or old age, or not getting their cancer treatments because shit's shut down. Even as local officials continue to encourage residents to cover their faces, Smith said he does not believe that masks are necessary. Bartenders need to see their customers' faces in order to check ID, exactly, and make sure no one gets served too many drinks. Yeah, he needs to make sure that he can see people's faces here, because people, it's true, people can fall down and get hurt on his property, and then he can get in trouble for over-serving. Anyone with the virus, including those who are asymptomatic, that's the new Juden, by the way. That'll be used to round us all into concentration camps and gas us, or fucking give us lethal injections. I'm telling you, man, asymptomatic is the new Juden. That's exactly what the Nazis used to say. It's the new Star of fucking David. Should not be coming out to begin with. Besides, yes, how are you supposed to down a beer with a banana stretched across your lips? What? Oh, bandana. I was like, banana? What the fuck are you talking about? The shape of it? One regular at the Liberty Tree Tavern, 58-year-old Charles Chamberlain, said he survived both stage 4 cancer and H1N1 Lierus as well, known as swine flu. He spent a year in a Houston hospital, he told Austin American Statesman, before becoming so frustrated. Stage 4 cancer, good for him. So frustrated at his isolation, then they cut his cancer treatment short. This quarantine, that's not living, that's existing, he said. Going into the bar, going to the lake, going swimming with your friends, barbecuing, fishing, that's living. Smith, who also ranches cattle, see, they're trying to make him out to be a fucking heck here, said his customers have social distancing built into their rural lifestyle. For now, I don't remember ever getting like fucking within how big is 3 meters? I don't remember ever getting real close to people before this shit anyways. So I don't remember like fucking snuggling up to people like fucking that I meet at the bar. Hey guys, how's it going? Into your rural lifestyle. For now, regulars don't seem to mind his request. No one had been kicked out yet for disobeying the poster, and one customer's son who has intellectual disabilities was allowed to keep his mask on. Oh my god. All I gotta say is, why is there a kid in a bar? Anyways, I think it's a bar restaurant, but whatever. Chamberlain, who has been out to Liberty Tavern, it's not like he doesn't know who this kid is anyways, so he can't fucking fuck around. Liberty Tavern about 3 times since it reopened, plans to keep coming back. You should have a choice of what you want to do, he told the American Statesman. If I get it, I get it. If I do, I'll deal with that. You can't live forever. And let me tell you, if you do get it, it'll be fine. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Because the death rate is 0.6%. So for every 100 people that get it, for every 200 people that get it, 1 might die. So, and again, here's another fucking bullshit thing. When is this? Memorial Day? So when was Memorial Day? And what's the temperature in fucking this? Anyways, I don't know where this place is. I know that there's like Florida and shit, but I'm like, what's the temperature, man? Is it not getting cold? It's fucking September. They're saying people are going fucking swimming. Anyways, this is a fucking fake picture, guaranteed, because there's not one mask. There would be at least one mask. Anyways, and this fucking shitty article was brought to you by reusable cotton face masks. You can wipe your ass with them. All right, so fuck that. Anyways, I just thought I'd bring that up. People are fighting back against this shit. The mentality, at least. You know, they're not they're not fighting the law. 'Cause the law changed, but they are fighting against the retardation mentality of it all. So, anyways, we're about 1 hour in there, and we're gonna get to some other shit here soon. And yeah, I'm gonna read these comments. Let's see. All right. Fucking vinegar showers. I think that's called a douche. All right, so let's see. Read these comments. I'm gonna smoke a little pipe bowl. If you are watching on the replay, be sure to smack like, because hey, if you've watched for an hour and you don't smack like, you're just stealing at this point, motherfucker. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. We're not quite done yet. Generation. All right, we read that already. Robbie P2 Vlogs is also a nasty person that works with him. Solstice said at 12:03. Jack Jerswood says, "Oh my." XL, I heard someone is taking vinegar showers because of the paranoia of tap water being affected. We should look that up. Oh my god, that's fucking hilarious. Some of these things that people are doing are so ridiculous. Yes, the vinegar shower keeps the voices away, says Jack. Solstice XL, Outlaws Generation is the wrong person. It was actually a dude named Crack. I forgot. All right, so we'll look up D Crack. But yeah, I'm not sure we'll be able to find it. D Crack. D Crack. D Crack. D Crack. Anyway, I'll fucking throw that in there somewhere. D. All right. Thanks for that correction, by the way. I don't want to start putting someone on burn that doesn't deserve it. All right, so let's scroll down. What is? Oh, Dirac. That's the thing. Okay. How often do you use maple syrup? You know what? Honestly, I fucking want some. I was watching South Park last night, and it was the episode about banning gluten, which is kind of eerily similar to the Corona shit that's going on. They actually put Randy Marsh in a concentration camp, but and they called it quarantine, and everyone was wearing masks. It was really fucked up because this is like 4 years ago. This fucking episode came out. Maybe those guys knew it was coming. Maybe. Anyways, I haven't used it in a while, and even in the imitation shit. And you know, I love pancakes. I love fucking. I love French toast, especially. French toast is easy. You take 2 pieces, you crack an egg, you dip it in, boom. Fuck pancakes. You gotta go all that work. You gotta flip them. They fall apart. They're all shitty. I love them. I love flapjacks. But maple syrup, man, that shit's expensive. Even here, it's like $10 for like a little bottle like this. So I'll probably start doing that though in winter and like getting drunk again. I don't know if you guys have seen me drunk. I haven't gotten drunk too much on the show. I'm gonna start having a show where I just fucking get drunk and do my comedy. I've got some stand-up comedy jokes that I'm gonna tell. So yeah, I've got a list of them though. I don't really remember any off the top of my head. Solstice says the COVID numbers, yes, are being inflated. And yeah, man, I question whether or not it's even. I don't want to hurt anyone's fucking feelings or their intellectual fucking prowess, what they think of themselves. But I question if it's even real, man. I honestly think the whole thing was either a one-off bioweapon where they killed a bunch of people with like anthrax or some shit, a one-off fucking bioweapon, and then they've been tacking on fake numbers, or it was actually just wholesale bullshit and nothing even existed. Because apparently the flu deaths have dropped this year. And apparently the fucking cancer deaths have dropped. Apparently the automobile deaths have dropped. It's like, it's almost like they're taking away from those numbers dramatically to inflate this already tiny fucking number. But yeah, fuck it. Here, I'll spread some of the germs around my apartment. If you didn't notice, that's actually a green screen back there. So yeah, on my wall. And it's showing my logo for the show. It's actually just green fucking painter's tape. It's pretty cool. You guys could go ahead and call it if you want. I realize it's probably pretty late. You don't want to get in trouble for talking. But yeah, go ahead and give a call if you want. And we'll talk to you live. Even for a few minutes, you know? It'd be nice to hear from you guys. But yeah, let's get on with this so we can get on with the other shit there that we're doing here. Because I want to give that guy a fucking shout there before it gets too late. Let me know if you think he'll still be up. And alternatively, I would like to know when would the best time be to call him, during the day or whatever the fuck, because I want to record him for a video later, like I said. So, anyways, let's see. Where the fuck were we here? Doodle 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 doodle. All right, let's read this bullshit here. Accepting fucking cookies. Fuck. Well, cookies out. Going to court without a face. Going to court without a face mask gets an Oregon man arrested and jailed. Officials say. Oh my god. All right. Well, it's not too surprising in a courtroom. I'll just read a few minutes of this. Let's see how long it is first. It's actually not even fucking long at all. Wait, let's see. Yeah, it's actually. I'll just read the whole thing. It's like fucking half a minute. The Washington State Department of Commerce uses these guidelines to decide on the. I don't know why I'm reading that. A Sweet Home, Oregon man was arrested after he didn't want. A Sweet Home, Oregon man. Is that a state name? Sweet Home, Oregon man was arrested after he didn't wear a face mask to his court appearance and tried to leave after the judge said a mask was required. Media outlets report. John Coolbeth went into municipal court for traffic charges on Wednesday, and after a court clerk said he needed to wear a face mask, he refused and stood in a court with his daughter, the Statesman Journal reported. When I checked into the clerk's window, the clerk promptly told me, well, you need to have a fucking mask on, which was quite rude. I was confused, he said. Well, I don't, and I'm not going to because I have enough breathing issues as it is. She goes, well, the judge is going to disagree with that. Coolbeth said in an interview on the Lars Larson show. Lars Larson. You're listening to Lars Larson on the Lars Larson radio show. WKAFB. Kind of fucking bullshit. All right. Judge Larry Blake saw that Coolbeth wasn't wearing a mask and said he would hold him in contempt of court if he didn't put one on. Coolbeth said on the radio show. My God, can you believe that? That's not even a fucking law, man. It's not even a fucking law. Excuse me. I said I have enough respiratory issues. I said I have enough respiratory issues as it is, but I'm more than willing to come back another day. And he didn't like that idea, Coolbeth said. So finally, I said, fine, I'll just leave. And then the fucking swine. Coolbeth told the Statesman Journal that he was discharged from the army for breathing problems a decade ago. This guy's a veteran, and told the judge that he would leave. He was arrested by Sweet Home Police. I'm going to stop saying Sweet Home Police, Sweet Home, because it's just insulting. Police Chief Jeff Lynn, who said that the judge issued a warrant for his arrest, according to the publication. Oregon Governor Kate Brown, announced that people in oh my God, what is with these names? Multnomah, Clackamas, Washington Hood River. Good job. Naming that shit. Marion, Polk, and Lincoln Jesus fucking counties. My goodness. Elect me. Vote for me, Prime Minister 2023. I can't even fucking pronounce the word counties. Will be required to wear a face coverings public, with exceptions for those who have a medical condition that prevents them from using the face covering over children under the age of 12. Catu reported. Sweet Home is in Lynn County. So what the fuck? So this guy has a medical exemption, and the judge threw him in fucking jail because he said he can't breathe. Listen to this shit. I'll just finish this up. You need to wear a mask, Blake said. That's the judge. Okay. And again, Coolbeth refused. Towery told the station, and the judge said, well, you don't really have a choice, essentially. And Mr. Coolbeth said, well, I'm going to leave then. And he left. Coolbeth said he was arraigned in jail with another court date scheduled for July 22nd. Could you imagine that shit? For a traffic violation. Like, what the fuck? He said when you come back on July 22nd, if you're not wearing a face mask or you don't have a doctor's note saying you're not legally required to wear one, you're going to go to jail again. What the fuck? Kulbeth told the radio show. He said, "You're going to go to jail again and you face 30 days." Citing CDC and prevention guidelines, Oregon Health Authority recommends people wear face coverings, recommends that you wear face coverings in business and public. More than 2 people, yeah. And then here's the old government line of, "Oh my God, do you see this? More than 2 million people have been infected with COVID-10. This new this news outlet has the hot scoop on a new hot disease called COVID-10. Forget 19. This is COVID-10, folks. From the year 1910. It's very deadly. And more than 125,000 people have died, blah, 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 according to Johns Hopkins University." Yeah, Johns Hopkins University is not a health authority. And they probably get some funding from the, I almost said something I should not have said, the CCP, Brady. I almost said something horrible. But I get mad, you know? I get mad talking about this fucking bullshit. Anyways, so there's that. And on that note, real quick before I come back and read that shit, I want to read just a little bit of this. I'm not sure if you guys watching have ever seen or played the game Fallout New Vegas, but in the game, there's a town that gets fucked up by the Roman Legion, as they're called, and they hold everybody to a lottery system. And basically, they get people to stay calm and stay subverted because, oh, it's a lottery. Don't worry, you know, you're only going to get killed if we call your number, and we're probably not going to call your number. It's like winning the lottery. But one by one, people's numbers get called one by one. And you know what? After the first few people are gone, they take care of the strong people first. After the first few people are gone, nobody's there to protect the other people. Nobody cries out against all the people getting torn away and burned on a fire. But you know what? They scream nice and loud when it's their turn. So I'm going to say just this. I'm just going to read this. The Lottery is a short story written by Shirley Jackson, first published in June 26, 1948 issue of The New Yorker. Excuse me. The story describes a fictional small town in contemporary America which observes an annual rite known as the Lottery, in which a member of the community is selected by chance to be stoned to death. It is implied in the story that the lottery is a practice to ensure the community's continued well-being. Readers' initial negative response surprised both Jackson and the New Yorker. Subscriptions were canceled, and much hate mail was received through the summer of the first publication. While the Union of South Africa banned the story, it's not surprising to see why they would. They had a fucking revolution in like the 80s or 90s, man. They had apartheid there. I think it was the 90s. Anyways, the story has been dramatized several times and subjected to much sociological and literary analysis, and it has been described as one of the most famous short stories in the history of American literature. The plot details the contemporary small-town American life embroidered upon a description of an annual rite known as the Lottery in a small-town village of about 300 residents. The locals are in an excited yet nervous mood on June 27th. Children gather stones as the adult townsfolk assemble their annual event, in which the local tradition is apparently practiced to ensure a good harvest. Old Man Warner quotes the old proverb, "Lottery in June, corn be heavy soon." However, some other villages have already discontinued the lottery, and rumors are spreading that a village farther north is considering doing likewise. The lottery preparations start the night before, with coal merchant Mr. Summers and postmaster Mr. Graves drawing up a list of all the extended families in town and preparing a set of paper slips. One per family, all are blank, except for one later revealed to be marked with a black dot. The slips are folded and placed in a wooden box, which is in turn stored in a safe at Mr. Summers' office until the lottery is scheduled to begin. Over the years, the box has become battered and discolored and has been stored in various places around the town when not in use. One morning of the lottery, the townspeople gather shortly before 10 a.m. in order to have everything done in time for lunch. First, the heads of the extended families each draw one slip from the box, but wait to unfold them until all the slips have been drawn. Bill Hutchinson gets a marked slip, meaning that his family has been chosen to be stoned. His wife, Tessie, protests that Mr. Summers rushed him through the drawing, but the other townspeople dismiss her complaint. Since the Hutchinson family consists of only one household, a second drawing to choose one household within the family is skipped. The final drawing One slip is placed in a box for each member of the household. Bill, Tessie, and their 3 children. Each of the 5 draws a slip, and Tessie gets marked 1. The townspeople stone her as she screams about the unfairness of the lottery, and the slips blow away in the wind. So you know what I mean? Man. One of the major ideas of the lottery is that of a scapegoat. The act of stoning someone to death yearly purges the town of bad and allows for the good. This is hinted at the references to agriculture. The story also speaks of mob psychology and the idea that people can abandon reason and act cruelly when they're part of a large group of people behaving in the same manner. Does this sound familiar, folks? The idyllic setting of the story also demonstrates that violence and evil can take place anywhere and in any context. Like maybe in the Western societies where we think no one could get dragged to a concentration camp for fucking a fake virus. This also shows how people can turn on each other so easily. When or where it is set specifically is never said, leaving some to consider it's science fiction. Alongside mob mentality, the story speaks of people who blindly follow traditions without thinking of the consequences of those traditions. So, the reason I brought that up is pretty simple. That's a story from 1948, before fucking Nazis over here to influence all of our culture, all of our movies, all of our everything, and take a damn fucking continent. But yeah, that really, I think, is a very important story to bring up to people, where nobody's gonna cry about you being put in jail. If you walk by someone on the street, you're on your phone, blah blah blah, then you get a letter in the mail, report to detention camp C2B for fucking 2 months of forced quarantine. No one's gonna fucking scream for you. No one's gonna hear you screaming. Well, they might, but no one's gonna give a fuck when you're being pulled away. You know what I mean? One by one, they pull us all away for your number to be called. It's gonna come. If they do it to you, they'll do it to you, and they'll do it to your neighbor, and they'll do it to your neighbor's children. Don't fucking make any mistake about it. Anyway, sorry about that long-winded shit. You guys probably stopped watching, but I felt that was pretty important, and I'm gonna be making a separate video about it and shit too. But let's read some of these comments before I take a piss. Video while I take a piss. All right, so let's see. Solstice says, Prick Rob. All right. At 12:25, how we see, let's give it a good Harry Frelu Outalius. I'm not sure what that means. Have you played Populous 3? No, if it's good, I might check it out. I get really addicted to games. I try to steer one. But if it's really great, maybe. This story is about throwing rocks at people, right? Jack asks at 12:29. Yeah, it's about basically it's about killing people. You know, in the game they didn't throw rocks at them; they threw them on a big tire fire, which is way worse. You know, imagine just like, oh, sorry, here you go, woof, throw you in a fucking fire. And it's like, if I don't know if you've ever seen a tire fire, but it keeps burning. It's kind of like oil, and it's, you know, so you can easily just make a big thing of tires, light it on fire, and it burns for hours. You could, you know, maybe throw everybody on a fucking tire. Remember the tire fire in Springfield? Keeps burning because it takes a long time to burn. So you could do like a 3-day operation where you round up everybody and burn them. And no one's going to fight back because you're like, don't worry. It's only the wicked people that are going to get burned. It's only the COVID people that are going to get burned. It's only the infected people who don't want to wear masks and they're asymptomatic. That's the only people we're going to kill one by one. And some for you and your family. So just remember that. I don't like that, but some people are fucking like that. They're just believe in everything that the media says. So before I take a little squirt, I'm going to get on to the next thing that I wanted to bring up. And is to do, let's see. I'm gonna just bring up this since it includes a video. But yeah, basically, you know how you always hear about asteroids flying by the Earth? Oh, it might hit us. It might hit us every fucking year. Oh, it missed us narrowly, but it missed us. But at least we have NASA looking out for us. NASA is apparently Hebrew for deception. NASA was created by fucking Nazis. I think space is real. I'm not fucking a flat earther, but I think that all the pictures we get of space are completely falsified, because if they showed us the real space, we would see all the spaceships, all the satellites, all the cool shit that's up there, because too much space infrastructure to hide, essentially. All right, so I'm going to play this real quick. I'm going to take a squirt. I'm going to be listening to it and I'm going to comment upon it. So I think I'll remove myself from the stream for a second, but I'll be right back.
By a meteorite.
What time of the day was this?
12:45.
12:45. And this comes through the roof and hit you.
She was napping when the rock crashed through her ceiling and bounced off the radio into her stomach. Because it was small, her injuries were minor. But much bigger objects have collided with her. Years ago, a rock 10 kilometers wide slammed into the Gulf of Mexico, an event that likely caused dinosaurs to go extinct. Elsewhere, mammoth meteorites have been discovered everywhere from the US to Russia, blasted craters in North America, Australia, and Africa. Falling objects from the sky have always fascinated humans, but they have also made us fearful, making us wonder whether someday a giant asteroid could come for us. In movies like Deep Impact and Armageddon, those fears are played out.
1 minute.
And heroes save the day.
You're all gonna die, right? I'm the guy who can was saving the world.
You might think this only happens in Hollywood, but that's not exactly true. There is a small chance, a really, really small chance of a large asteroid hitting Earth. So scientists are getting ready, just in case. Asteroids are hunks of rock that weren't big enough to become planets when the solar system formed. Smaller asteroids are called meteoroids, and when they fall through Earth's atmosphere, they become meteors. It's meteorites. Between 1988 and 2017, NASA counted over 700 fireballs created by objects entering our atmosphere. In order to detect asteroids, NASA takes multiple pictures of the night sky and uses computers to scan for moving objects. As Earth orbits, scientists make several observations from different locations to detect how close the asteroids are to Earth. Here, the nearest objects are labeled in green. At least 16,000 of them have been classified as near Earth, meaning they orbit within roughly a third of the distance from the Sun. And based on the object's speed and brightness, scientists can map a trajectory to predict whether it will collide with Earth. The impact energy of a 10-meter object, just a little smaller than a school bus, would be 100 kilotons. But the larger the object, the nastier the impact. A meteorite just a little larger than the Great Pyramid at Giza, at about 150 meters, would generate 288 megatons of energy. For reference, the number of megatons in the payload of the Castle Bravo hydrogen bomb was only 15. But asteroids don't need to hit Earth to cause damage. In 2013, a 17-meter-wide meteor exploded over Chelyabinsk, Russia, before it ever reached the ground. And the resulting shockwave released about 440 kilotons of energy that damaged structures and injured over 1,500 people. Following that event in Russia, U.S. politicians called on NASA to ask about the threat of future collisions.
Well, if we saw one coming toward Omaha, what could they do about it? And they said they could use a laser.
First of all, it would not be practical to have a laser powerful enough to split it in half.
Their questions sounded like plot lines for a new blockbuster, but their ideas weren't actually that far off.
They want to use a laser. All right, so I just wanted to stop that there because I don't play the whole thing. Their plan is essentially to knock it off course with a fucking rocket. I watched it before. But I just got to say to that guy's comment, it's not really practical to have a laser powerful enough to cut it in half. How is it not fucking practical, dude? What, he just, it costs too much. We can't do it. We're just actually going to build bunkers and live in bunkers instead. Like, what the fuck? It's not practical enough?
How far inland could a reasonably sized asteroid make water come in?
Oh, see, look. Also, they can say Also, they can say it causes huge tidal waves and all this damage. At any second, they could say that, oh, an asteroid hit and drop a bomb on our fucking head. And look at that. Coincidentally, the scale for measuring damage from an asteroid or a meteor, whatever the fuck they call those things, is the same as how they measure bombs. Huh. So, at any fucking time, we could get killed, and the entire international community would have nothing to say about it. Nothing to say. So that's all I got to say about that one. But on the same end of that, let's see, where was it? Everyone knows about anthrax, very scary stuff, kill you pretty easily. Anthrax. So I just want to fucking read this real quick. Fortunately, I don't know what this is from. Fortunately not, but the suspected cause is also troubling. I don't know where this is from. Researchers believe the unusually high temperatures during the heat wave caused the permanently frozen soil called permafrost to thaw, releasing formerly frozen spores of anthrax into the air in a case of science fiction playing out in reality. So I'm just fucking bringing this up. Like, this is about a heat. Okay, this is about a anthrax outbreak in Russia. Result that is thought to be the result of thawing. Oh yeah, there we go. A heat wave is blamed for the thawing a 75-year-old reindeer carcass, along with dormant spores of anthrax bacteria that infected it. Okay, so there's a bunch of these fucking articles. Anthrax is going to come from a fucking defrosting dead animal. And I remember seeing this when I was an office cleaner working back in like 2017 or whatever the fuck it was. I think it was 2015 or 16. And I thought to myself, that is bullshit. You need to weaponize anthrax for it to be dangerous. Like, to, get it. And how the fuck would the anthrax fight all that? The host to survive, doesn't it? So I don't know, man. All I gotta say is 2 instances I just showed you where they played out a doomsday scenario type idea. Like, okay, 1 reindeer, 1 outbreak in Russia. It's not that big a deal. But imagine the pretext. They could say that happens up here in Canada. We've got a lot of permafrost and just poison a bunch of us with anthrax, and then nobody even looks into it because they say it was a fucking reindeer. Now, I seen another article on that same page that said they thought that a bioweapon was responsible for it later on. Or I think that one was in Texas. My bad. And that one was more recent. But just goes to show you that, like, that stuff needs to be weaponized for it to be massively dangerous. But anytime they could say, oh, anthrax came from global fucking warming. I'm not saying I don't believe in global warming. I definitely don't believe in a fucking goddamn carbon tax. That's bullshit. That's like, oh, well, we're going to charge you money because we're going to fuck up the environment. So we're charging you money for when you pump gas. Like, suck my fucking big one. All right. So, yeah. And I just want to bring this one last thing up. Does anthrax need to be weaponized to be dangerous? I Google searched that. So where was it? Is anthrax a man-made virus? Investigators are hunting down the source of anthrax virus that killed a man in Florida. In a Florida newspaper office, infected a colleague said early today they believe the germs were man-made. So this was 2001. So that's like around 9/11. So shit was more honest back then. And how is anthrax transmitted from humans to animals? Animal feed can be contaminated by anthrax. It contains bone meal of infected. If it contains bone meal of infected animals. Humans can get infected if they handle or involved with the slaughter of a sick animal or in contact with contaminated animal products such as meat, blood, wool, blah, 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 wool, hide, bones, everything. Pretty deadly stuff, but it says you have to be in contact with it. What they're trying to say is, in a case of science fiction come to reality, those were their exact fucking words, meaning it's really hard to do. The spore, they were turning from something that needs to be eaten or touched into spores that spread and killed a bunch of people in Russia. So I think they did some kind of a controlled experiment to see how many people they can kill. Possibly something very similar to what happened with the the Lierus that's going along right now. If there is any real shit to it, I heard one person theorize that it would have been a one-off attack because the deaths haven't even fucking climbed very much, especially in Canada. Everybody who died right away, and there's been like what 5 deaths here, 5 deaths here. Enough to blame it on something else, not enough to cause an alarm. Enough that the normal amount of people that would be dying of more natural causes would still be fucking dying. So I don't know. It's fucking messed up. But the last thing I wanted to bring up for it is how is anthrax weaponized? No. Who invented it? Because there's actually a guy. It's a German fucking Nazi dude. It's right here somewhere. What class is it? How is it weaponized? I don't know. How's it caused? Oh, look at this though, real quick. 16 countries plus Taiwan have had or are currently suspected of having biological weapons programs. Canada, why are they suspecting us? That's weird. Right next is China. Is there a link there? Actually, there is, and it's the link of Corona. But I don't want to get into that right now. I'd have to bring up too much shit. France, Germany, Iran, Iraq. So all these people have fucking chemical or biological weapons programs, are suspected of it. Sorry, but nobody wants to think about Rona. Anyways, fuck. All right, well, fuck it. But there is some guy on here that's invented it, so you could just look it up. No, can't find it. Oh, look at this. Anthrax makes a good weapon because it can be released quietly and without anyone knowing. The microscopic spores can be put into powders, sprays, food, and water. Because they're so small, you will not be able to see, smell, or taste them. Anthrax has been used as a weapon before. So anyways, a guy actually meant it. He's some Nazi dude. And I think that's all those things that I wanted to bring up about they could say it's from anywhere. Here's a quick article from some fucking Texas paper. The Gilmer Mirror online, serving the heart of Northeast Texas since 1876. All right. U.S. government gave $3.7 million grant to Wuhan lab at the center of coronavirus leak scrutiny. The lab is at the center of several conspiracy crossed out. Several theories, I like that suggest the original source of the corona outbreak. The Chinese laboratory at the center of scrutiny over the coronavirus leak has been using U.S. government money to carry out research on bats from the caves, which scientists believe are the original source of the deadly outbreak. The Wuhan Institute of Virology, that's actually legit. I've heard several people bring this up. Several investigators and shit, like WAM is another YouTube channel I watch, undertook coronavirus experiments on mammals captured more than 1,000 miles away in Yunnan, which were funded by a $3.7 million grant by the U.S. government. Sequencing of the COVID-19 genome has traced it back to bats found in the Yunnan caves, but it was first thought to have transferred to humans at an animal market in Wuhan. That was the story they put out. The revelation that the Wuhan Institute was experimenting. Remember what we just read? Something could be sprayed onto food or products easily without anyone knowing. And especially in a giant festival where everything is done by the government for the people. Oh, here, guys, go eat up Corona. You know, it was probably done on purpose. But anyways, that's with anthrax, something different, but, you know, similar. The revelation that Wuhan Institute was experimenting on bats in the area already known to be the source of COVID-19. And doing so with the American money has sparked further fears that the lab, not the market, was the original source of the outbreak. Here's another story right under it. 10th of April 2020, Minnesota Republican State Senator Scott Jensen, who is also a medical doctor, says the AMA is encouraging doctors to overcount coronavirus deaths. He revealed that the Medicare is determining that if you have COVID-19 admission to the hospital, you get $13,000. If that COVID-19 patient goes on a ventilator, you get $39,000, 3 times as much. For all you math flunkies out there like me. Several days ago, he told local media he told local media he received a directive from the Minnesota Department of Health to list these patients as having died of the fucking Wuhan flu on the death certificates, even if the patients were never tested for it. When he asked why officials would want to inflate the death statistics, Jensen said, "Fear is a great way to control people, and I worry about that." The document mentioned by Jensen is from the CDC and is found here. And then here's another thing for you guys to read. But anyways, what's this? Pentagon to extend troop movement freeze past May 11th. Roger Stone, Bill Gates, globalists may have created coronavirus as a pathway to mandatory vaccines, microchip people. That's what we all think, right? Donald Trump should fire Fauci, fraud leading for coronavirus expert. So this is a good little website anyways. So yeah, that's pretty much it about that. And I wanted to bring up something about Idaho here. We'll cut her off pretty soon. But look at this fucking article. Maskless armed protesters storm the state capitol building. Why? Look at these guys. They look like literal Star Wars stormtroopers. Fucking idiots. All right, anyways. Earlier this week, a group of maskless protesters, many of whom are armed, forced their way past police and stormed the Idaho State House. Why? Because they believe that the state government is overstepping its authority in trying to contain the pandemic. Yes, you read right. Doing too much to contain the pandemic. Oh my goodness. Fucking mind blown. How you heard right. That's right. They think they're doing too much. Like destroying the economy and making it inside their fucking homes, you cocksucking fucks. For some insight into how we got here and how widespread the views of the protesters are, I reached out to Melissa Dalvin, the host of Idaho Reports, which just happened to be the longest running public affairs show in the West. Our conversation, conducted via email and lightly edited for flow, is below. Lightly edited my ass. How the heck did we get here? Dalvin, Monday morning. Let's see how long this is. Because I heard about this from other people, and I wanted to kind of bring it up myself because it's fucking ridiculous. We hear what actually happened in the end, though. Oh my goodness. Monday morning marked the start of the Idaho Legislature special session to consider COVID-related liability and election bills. House leadership attempted to limit spectators' House's fourth floor gallery to allow for second-D rules, social distancing rules, but the protesters shoved their way past Idaho State Police troopers and security guards. The fray, how do you like that for distance? The fray resulted in a shattered glass door and prompted House Speaker Scott Bedke to negotiate with protesters to allow them into the gallery, and subsequent hearings ended attempts to socially distance. How dare they? How frightfully uncouth. As of Wednesday morning, none of the protesters faced charges for shoving the state troopers. Fuck them. Fuck the troopers. Notably, ISP arrested... What is that? What is ISP? Internet service providers? ISP arrested dozens of protesters in 24 for merely blocking the doors of the State House. Those protesters tried unsuccessfully to convince the legislature to add protections for the LGBT community to the Idaho Human Rights Act. Well, that's, I'm not saying that they're less passionate than people who've had their lives fucking destroyed, but, I support LGBT, all that shit. All that shit, fucking stuff to those people, good for them. But I'm saying, it's not really, anyways, it's not life and death. These protesters this week weren't random or spontaneous. Many people who showed up on Monday morning were paid members of the 3%ers, or the Healthcare Freedom Idaho, Amon Bundy, or Malheur National Wildlife Refuge Occupation Frame was also there. Bundy was arrested on Tuesday afternoon and charged with trespassing and refusing to leave a hearing room at the State House. So it sounds like somebody was actually arrested, but they said nobody was. Weird. Members of those groups, especially Health Freedom Idaho, are regulars at legislative hearings concerning vaccinations. and have recently turned their attention to regional public health district meetings. In April, Bundy and members of those two groups protested at the private homes of Governor Brad Little R. I don't know what the R stands for. Probably something related to his genitalia. And a police officer who arrested a mother for trespassing on a closed playground. You heard me right. He arrested a mother for trespassing on a closed playground. What a shameful, shameful person. In July, I mean the person who arrested, they shoved past the public health district employees to, and I'm pretty sure it was the kid who was probably trespassing. So, arrest the right person here, folks. Arrest the child instead. Come on. Be reasonable. They shoved past health district employees to enter the regional health district building, disregarding requests to wear fucking face taper and mocking those who did. Again, no one faced charges for the July protests. There's a lot more to read. Fuck it, I'll read it. In part, Governor Little arranged members of his own party and issued a stay-at-home murder early in the pandemic, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Fuck all this shit. Yeah, forget it. But anyways, during the regular sessions of Idaho legislature, it's fairly common to see anti-government members on the public open carrying firearms in the halls of the state house. They're not anti-government. They're fucking, they're trying to fucking protest. See, listen, here's something I can read. It's a little surreal to watch testimony from protesters who say they feel like they're living under martial law. There are nearly no restrictions statewide. Any restrictions that do exist come from individual cities, counties, or public health districts. See, that's how they pan this off. They say it's coming from the states. In reality, it's coming from the Chinese fucking government, WHO, and all that shit. The WHO. The state, not the band. The state current hotspots are under no restrictions and have no mask mandates. Since his initial stay-at-home order, Little has shifted much of the decision-making, mandates, and restricting counties, cities, Idaho, several local health districts. Those districts operate independently of each other and have approached managing in this pandemic in widely different ways. Some have issued mask mandates for the counties with high case rates. Other districts have had board members who are skeptical of the pandemic. A handful are vocally anti-mask and have repeated false information about the severity of the virus. And now hospitals are impacted. See, it's false information, but the false information comes from the authorities that we're supposed to listen to. And yes, it is medical martial law. So that's all I'll read of this. Oh, well, I guess there's only fucking... Initially, it was dissatisfaction that came from the right people who thought Little was overreaching with this emergency declaration. They wanted to end the emergency declaration. That's what it was. We're still seeing the effects that a special session, which the House members passed a resolution to end the emergency, that resolution is likely unconstitutional. See, here's the thing. They're saying that the resolution to pass the thing to end the state of emergency is unconstitutional. But in reality, the state of emergency on false premise being perpetuated is unconstitutional. So, you can see how they're trying to frame it. They're trying to frame it as these people are anti-government and but they fucking reversed just a little bit of info that this doesn't appear to say, is they reversed that right after. They reversed the fact that the protesters didn't vote. The members who were influenced by this voted to end it. They didn't do it to appease the protesters. They did it because that's what they believe. Right up here, it says that they have fucking repeated false information about the severity of the virus. So they are literally compromising democracy in front of your eyes and telling you that you're rejecting science and all this shit. And they're compromising your democracy. You have a democracy with more people in this community that happen to agree with these protesters, and they see the support of the protesters. So now they're speaking up. And what happens? It's reversed later, and it actually did get reversed. So I'm telling you, man. See, I'm not sure if it says right here it was diverse, but I guarantee you it was about this. And yeah, they're saying it's misinformation. In reality, when you try to tell them the facts from the authorities, they call it fucking misinformation. These people, I'm telling you, these reporters that are framing shit in this way, I'm sorry, free speech, yes. These people need to be jailed. Not because they're breaking a current law, but because they are fucking lying to the people they're supposed to be bringing information to. This article is straight out telling you opinion and not fact. Straight up fucking bullshit. These people should be put in fucking prison. Honestly, whoever the fuck wrote this, they're probably a little ignorant, but I think whoever is above them who let it be published, they're fucking guilty, man. They're guilty. Anyways, look at these rejects. Look at this. We're the laughing stock of the world. Haha, 50 hilarious facts about Canada. We're all dumb. Haha. That's how the world looks at us. This fucking guy and this fucking fine gal right here. Sure, they're fine people, but they look like they smoke a little bit too much fucking dope. And anyway, we probably lost everyone who was watching. I don't blame you, but yeah, I just wanted to read through that shit. So I'm gonna read one last thing before I end off here, and before we try to call Prick Rob. Look at this fucking retard. I almost said another thing I shouldn't have said. All right, Trudeau promises ambitious throne speech. What the fuck is a throne speech? But says he doesn't want fall election. Too bad, bitch. Little on the throne speech is known. I actually fucking kind of hope I get to face him in the elections, but anybody I face for prime minister, I'll beat them. They're all a bunch of snaky puppets. Look at this guy. He looks like a literal Muppet with this thing over his face. He's been gagged. All right, good. Fucking cocksucker. Anyway. Ooh, little on the throne speech is known, but reports indicate that the government aims to bring billions in new spending on top of the record-setting COVID-related deficits. The Prime Minister stressed Wednesday he doesn't want a fall election, but it was clear his government will have a bold vision to offer in the coming throne speech if the opposition parties push for a trip to the polls. I'll actually vote this time. I've never voted, but I'll vote for this. I'll vote to get him the fuck out of there. I have been very clear the government has no interest in seeing an election this fall. He said it will be up to the opposition parties to decide whether or not they have confidence in the plan this government's going to put forward to help Canadians build a better future. After prolonged Parliament last month and shutting down several communities looking into the W scandal, shut them down, what the fuck? The Liberals will return to the House of Commons in less than 2 weeks on September 23rd with a throne speech. Trudeau, the trickster, has said it will aim to build Canada back better than it was before the pandemic. He said, particularly in a minority parliament, if it makes sense for the government to hear from the opposition parties about his government's plan and receive their endorsement before pushing forward. Trudeau made the comments in Toronto after announcing $39 million investment to help Black business owners grow and expand their businesses. See, I'm telling you, this is fucking racist. You're giving out money to only Black people, not people from a different country. You're not people disadvantaged, just Black business owners. I mean, there's a lot of poor people in fucking Canada.
Your taste buds. Mucho Burrito's new signature menu is here. Pick up in store or get it delivered. Available for a limited time only.
Are you kidding me? Did you just run a goddamn ad on my show, you bastard? Anyways, with that is fucking ridiculous. Doing my fucking thing, man. Sorry about that. I don't even remember what I was doing. Anyway, this should have been closed. Pretty damn disgusting what's going on. And yeah, like, what the fuck? Motherfucker where is it? I had to turn that off. That was driving me nuts. All right. After prolonging Parliament last month, okay. So yeah, after vowing to give away $93 billion to Black business owners, few details. See, like anyways. Whew, that pisses me off. What about the Native communities up there? Their lives don't matter. I'll tell you that. Few details on the throne speech. Oh, one more thing. Yeah, clearly their fucking Native lives don't fucking matter at all to these people. Not even a little bit. So I don't know why the fuck there's, the native people here are treated way fucking worse than any fucking black people are in America. I'm not saying they have it good. I'm saying the native people got the shit end of the stick. They're treated like fucking garbage. They had all the shit taken. The little bit of land they do have is forced on all these rules upon them. It's fucking ridiculous, man. So anybody who says fucking black lives fucking matter, you better address the fact of native lives matter. This is Canada we're talking about. We're not talking about the States right now. We're talking about Canada. And those people are fucking being treated like shit, poisoned by companies, and the companies are getting away with it. You don't even believe it because it sounds so ridiculous. But yeah, they're poisoning their fucking water supplies and shit. Oh my God, just, you want to talk about whose lives matter. It's just fucking ridiculous, man. Anyway, we're going to end off here in a minute, but so Trudeau says his throne speech will be focusing on making sure all Canadians have a real fair chance to succeed, recognizing the inequities that the pandemic has highlighted, knowing the future of jobs and opportunities for Canadians involves make sure we reduce our carbon emissions. He says he doesn't regret the bills the government spent on Canadians during the early days of the pandemic because it prevented Canadians from having to go in deeper into debt with their own credit cards. Anyway, fuck what the rest he says. We're still living in an emergency. COVID-19 is here, and it's going to keep being here in our communities until such a time as we have a vaccine, he said, and Canadians need to continue to be vigilant. Canadians need to continue to carefully wear a mask and wash their hands and social distance and avoid large gatherings. Good leadership, you fucking puppet. So with that, I noticed our live viewers have dropped off. It's all good. They've got lives. But yeah, I mean, we're going to end on that. And I fucking crazy that guy has anything to do with running the country, let alone being in charge. But I mean, holy fuck. Can you believe the shit that we went over tonight? An hour and 52 minutes. We're going to cut off before we get to the 2-hour mark because they really fuck with the stream after that, and it takes a lot longer to post up there or whatever. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, Jack and Solstice XL, especially if you watched on the replay. Thank you to you for tuning in. And I was going to do a daily rant just because I'm going to save that and I'm going to do it in another video. It'll take me a few minutes. But what made me think about this is I had something pop up on my ads recently on YouTube for giving money to CHEO charity. I went to CHEO as a kid. I had some infection treated. It's good we have a children's hospital and healthcare is free. So I know I sound a little fucked up bringing this up, complaining about it. But I'm telling you, man, these companies these charities, they pull at your fucking heartstrings and they say, oh, help the children get cured of their cancer. If you've seen what they do to the children, they blast them with radiation like they would an adult. They give them chemo like they would an adult. They do all kinds of stuff to them. And I want to call up these charities and ask, how much of this money has been given to study the effects of CBD and terpenols and all the things that cannabis has to offer medically? How much has been fucking used to study into that? They'll be silent. They won't know what to say because it's a big fat goose egg. Nothing has been spent. And let me tell you this, the RSO, Rob Stinson oil, is a high potency concentrated oil, has been shown to shrink tumors with like an 80% success rate. So we're talking about something that cures cancer, doesn't expose these young bodies to high amounts of radiation, and actually it cures cancer way faster and way less painfully than radiation and chemo. And the only problem is it doesn't cost much. It probably only costs about $2 to $3 grand to cure somebody instead of 10 to 15, and in the States 50 to 100. So shame on all these every fucking oncologist, and none of them fucking use natural treatment. It's basically they could lose their license if they try to treat your cancer with cannabis. They could lose their license. But if they try to give you something to deal with the pain to smoke it, that's fine. But if they try to actually cure you with RSO, they can lose their license for that. If I get cancer and I find out I have cancer tomorrow, I have somebody in my life that has cancer right now that's very close to me. They have fucking late stage thyroid fucking cancer. Okay, this is someone my age, a year older than me. I'm not going to say their name because it might be embarrassing. They want to keep it secret. And the government, the doctor offered him the regular treatment. He said, I'm not taking that. I'm treating myself with cannabis. And the doctor looked at him like this. Like he grew a third head. So, you know what I mean? Instead of saying cannabis, I'll get you hooked up. We'll get you a script and you'll be on your way and we'll cure your cancer, buddy. There's something going on, man. 45,000 Canadians die a year of fucking cancer. Ha! So funny. Ha ha ha. We don't shut down the fucking economy for that. And what do I mean by that? Oh, Alex, COVID doesn't, or cancer doesn't spread like a virus. Don't be stupid. We don't fucking shut down these companies that are poisoning people with additives to the cigarettes, not the cigarettes themselves, additives to the cigarettes, poisons in the food, fucking glyphosates in the fucking wheat, all this fucking pesticides in the food, the GMO. It's all, and there's MSG in a large amount of the cheap there, something tartrazine that's in a lot of the cheap food and candy, you know, to given to children. You know, Kraft Dinner has tartrazine in it. Eat up, kids. Here's some tartrazine. And if I'm not mistaken, recent laws removed the need to have tartrazine stated on the packaging. I could be wrong, but I think they did. I guess because I've seen a lot of brands saying on the back that it doesn't say anything about tartrazine. I know they used to have it in there. So anyways, in the last few minutes here, thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate it, especially you, Jack, and Solstice. I will give a prank call video sometime probably early next week. And I'll prank call that dude there that you want me to. And I'll get him on tape and I'll post it as a separate video. I apologize I didn't do it live, but, you know, I kind of had a schedule and some stuff planned out that I wanted to do. But it was fun hanging out with you guys and talking to you. I don't really have a lot of friends left in my life. They turned out to all be flakes over the past 2 years. I've barely seen any of them. I've had about 3 or 4 real good friends, and they just can't be bothered to hang out nowadays. So, yeah, I mean, been a good time. Been a good time. And if you made it to this point, hey, smack the like button and fucking subscribe. Because, I mean, if you don't, who the fuck are you kidding? You think you can deal without me with the rest of your life? For the rest of your life? Anyway, went a little long tonight. Going to be doing more short videos, posting them up. So I hope you guys will watch and support the channel. Always remember to smash that. Try to share a video that's, I know this is like 2 hours. Share a video that's shorter and digestible with your friends, please. That's the only way this channel is going to grow. We're probably fucking shadow banned the stuff that I talk about, the titles of my videos. It's not what they want out there. Look at that green screen behind me. Is that not sick? It's not even real. It's not. I know. Look at my lighter. It's the same thing as the green screen. Pretty cool. Anyways, I'm gonna end off with this bowl. Thanks for watching. And you know, I didn't get to everything I wanted to talk about, but all I gotta say is we're all living on a planet where you plant a seed and it grows food for you. We're all living on a planet where you can get clean drinking water, methods, and electricity to fucking play online and shit. We're living in paradise. We're living in the Garden of Eden. Whether or not you're religious, we're living in a paradise. All we got to do is stand up for it. The reason for all human suffering isn't because there's no God, isn't because the world's a cruel place, isn't because karma and all this shit is biting you for your past life. It's not because of any of that silly fucking bullshit. It's because of human greed and people unwilling to stand up for what the fuck they know is wrong and standing up for fucking stuff that they believe in against what's wrong. Like with this fucking pandemic. A lot of people say they're only wearing their mask to make other people feel comfortable. It's like, why don't you stand the fuck up for what you believe in to make us all comfortable, to make sure your grandchildren are comfortable in this country. Thank you for watching. I'm Al Witten. And remember, we're all citizens of Earth. We're all citizens of Eden. Thanks a lot.